Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, fuck everybody, just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, fuck everybody, just do your thing.
Hi, Bullhorn Betty. Thank you for my shirt. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Kids Club.
My bite's not close to my bark buddies. And slid down so we can see a red suitcase right here for law enforcement if they're watching and you guys would like to come back here. Of her being out here. So this is what we're doing today. We will see you guys back here real soon.
Hey guys, Bullhorn Betty here. So there's something going on in my community and I need your help with. So this is a double homicide that happened in my community, but there's a lot more to this case than meets the eye. This is Thomas Murdaugh. He actually killed his mother and her boyfriend recently, but the problem here is he shouldn't even have been out of jail. He should have been in a mental hospital, and he is deemed incompetent to stand trial. This right here is our state attorney, and his name is Ed Brodsky. He has been our state attorney in the 12th District for some time. I recently learned our law enforcement officer, Sheriff Rick Wells, has arrested this guy many times and has prepared a case and sent that over to the state prosecutor. Ed Brodsky was supposed to litigate the matter. However, he ended up taking the felony case, reducing it to a misdemeanor, sending it to a misdemeanor court, and then just a month ago sent this deranged mental patient to a halfway house where he escaped and killed his mother. How can you help Bullhorn Betty? You can help Bullhorn Betty by saying, we will not accept this. This is unacceptable. Our law enforcement does their job and they send it over to the prosecutors just to let them go. Now, 2 people in my own backyard have lost their life because of these horrible and poor decisions at the hand of the state prosecutor, not law enforcement. So please, I ask you, is this going to be acceptable in your community as well? This is how you can help. If this case bothers you, if it disgusts you, if you realize 2 people should not be laying in the morgue right now, please consider giving Ed Brodsky a call and letting him know this is unacceptable from any state prosecutor.
Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
My beautiful people of YouTube, I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Monday. It is Monday. It is officially Manic Monday. Time to get up. It's Monday morning, folks. Time to get up. It's time to get your day rolling. It's time to get your day just moving along. Good morning, Skittles. Bullhorn Betty is here present, followed by our beautiful mod. It's me, Jen. Good morning, good morning, good morning. She is reminding everybody to go out there and don't forget to thumb up this live. We also have our beautiful Sonia in the house. Elsie, nice to see you here this morning. JB's mama, our winner chicken dinner. Monica, good morning. Donna, it's nice to see you. Maddie Down, good morning. Pen 1010. We got Tennessee Road. Good morning, love. Good morning, good morning. Angie, it's nice to see you here this wonderful Monday morning. Second Thesis, always blessing us with your presence. It's nice to have you. Good morning. Oh, Lady O, nice to see my friend. What's shaking bacon? Nice to see you. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Struggle is real. Nice to see you. Oh, man, I'm on 7. I haven't done anything wrong. Bye. Listen, rapper. You and I know each other, but we don't know each other. Cut the crap. Cut the crap, right? Cut the crap. I don't know you personally. I think you personally are funny. If this truly is the rapper, if this is, the weirdest troll on YouTube, I love you. I got no qualms with you. None whatsoever. I think you're funny. I think you do it out of fun. You do you, babe. You do you, babe. You want to come over here and hang out with Bullhorn Betty? Baby, you're welcome. You're always welcome over here in my house. Okay? So don't you worry your little head. If you want to come over here and hang out and you're nice, you are always more than welcome here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. And I promise you, if you're not antagonistic to anybody in my chat, you got no problems at all. We love people. We love people. And we love inspiring people. And you know what? I really do, Rapper. I think I got my work cut out on you. I got my work cut out on you. But you know what we're going to do with you? It's going to be amazing. I've got a plan for you, buddy. So what we're going to do with you is we're going to rechannel all of that energy you got going on, that you go in all these places and, you know, gaslight people and stuff like that. And we're going to take all that energy you got going on, and we're going to put to work for good, not bad. That's what we're going to do over here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. We're going to inspire you to change. And I don't have to do anything. You know why? Because you're going to want to. You're going to want to start being nicer to people. You know, because you feel good to do good, right? I believe in you, Rapper. I believe you can do good. I really do. So I hope you're having a great Monday. Struggle is real. Nice to see you. Good morning, Miss Donna. Miss Donna, Devil Doll up in the house. Good morning. Good morning, Devil Doll. Steffers, how's my coffee bean? My fur. You know, I just want to let you know, we say a lot of stuff on here, and we have little coin terms, you know, like rock it out with your coffee beans out, right? And, you know, beans, like our coffee beans, right? Good morning, my beautiful coffee beans, right? Those were all coined by our beautiful Steffers here, our beautiful Steffers here. So just throwing that out there for people that need a little BHB history, right? Steffers has been around with us for a while. She comes in and she goes, we don't know. Steffers, how you feeling today? No, I'm just joking. She's like, yeah, Betty, don't be throwing me under the bus on your show. Don't you do it. I'm just joking. Good morning, Jessica. It's nice to see you. I think I've ran through roll call. It's nice to see everybody this beautiful, wonderful morning. Guys, this is the week, right? I hear we have Thanksgiving coming up, right? So this is what I really want to do before we get started. We're going to read the language of letting go, and then we're going to get into all the horrible gunk and crap of going on around this country because people don't know how to act right? They think that they should force their will on other people instead of realizing, hey, if you don't like something, just leave, right? You don't have to force somebody, and you don't have to kill somebody because they don't want to do what you want them to do. What we do, right? Think about it. A woman wants to leave her husband. Her husband doesn't want her to leave, so he kills her, right? Child, you know, has issues. Mom left the child in diapers too long and now doesn't want to clean up the diaper and angry that the kid freaking made a mess in the diaper. So the kid dies, right? Just stupid crap going all over this country. And what do you do? What do you do? You know, what do you do? Well, what I chose to do is do something about it. Put a magnifying glass on it, expose it, start figuring out what we can do to start curbing some of this stuff, whether it's tougher penalties, tougher sentences, whatever it may be. We do it all, right? From ground searches all the way up to going and arguing with our politicians about laws. This channel does it all. And we're proud to do so. We've got some disgusting cases this morning, no different. And then we're going to dive into, of course, the meat and potatoes. And I was going across. I was going through some of our stuff because, you know, I have all these platforms, but my primary platform is YouTube, right? My primary platform, I shouldn't say primary, my competing platforms are YouTube and TikTok, right? So I get away from TikTok. I don't know why, because I think it's because it takes more work. I have to produce more videos on TikTok in order to produce the same revenue stream I do over here for 2 hours a day. So it's just a lot more work, right? But I still do it. When I want to do it, I do it, because when we have videos, I'll throw the videos out. It's easy. I mean, it takes a little extra time to format a video for TikTok and then have to reformat the video for YouTube because they're both different. One's portrait and one's landscape, right? So it's just some minor editing issues that I have to do with it, but whatever. Good morning. Happy Monday. Even Betty's not awake. But we did a live late last night. So today is November 20th. And nothing more suiting than this reading today, right? Because what are we doing? We are getting prepared, right? We're preparing ourselves, but we're getting prepared for Thanksgiving. So November 20th is Be Prepared. Did you ever have a teacher in school who warned you at the beginning of the year that he would give tests without notice? So be prepared. I had one like that. I didn't like them. Did anybody ever like those pop quizzes? I hated pop quizzes. Absolutely hated them. We might not have to like it, but we appreciate being warned. We knew in the class that we needed to do our homework in a timely manner if we wanted to get a good grade. We kept our awareness up. We knew we couldn't slide by. When the time came, we were either prepared for it, at the very least aware. We had been warned. We knew the test was coming. When I decided to stop using alcohol and drugs and live a life of abstinence and recovery, I was tested many times. People put drugs and alcohol in my hands. Once in the early morning months, soon after my decision, I failed a test and felt awful. Then I learned that important lesson. Life would challenge my decisions from time to time. I had to be prepared not only to make the choice to be sober, but to stand behind the decision each day. When I decided to become a writer, things moved along well for the first few years. Then I began hitting some walls. I hit a dry spell. No words came out. The results weren't as I had planned. It was time to decide if I wanted to stand behind my decision or fold. We will be given tests without notice on almost every decision we make and boundaries we set. Each time we say, I can, we will be tested. And drawing from personal experience, the test is never one we would have chosen. It's often ugly, inconvenient, and hits us at our weakest spot. Don't feel victimized or tortured when your test comes. Be prepared. Let it teach you more about yourself, what you want, and how badly you want it. Use it as resistance, the kind we can push against to become clearer about who we are and what we want. Sometimes we don't really want what we thought we want or did or wanted. Other times we do. We weren't in school anymore, at least not grade school. The test isn't for the teacher's benefit. It's for our own. To teach us how we've learned. Don't worry, I've been told we've never been given a test we can't pass. So get ready. You've been warned. Be aware. The test could come at any time. God help me go with my resistance to the little tests of life throws my way. Instead, help me use these tests as a chance to get to know myself, and you better help me do my best. What a great message. What a great message. Be prepared. And I have to tell you life's lessons, and I have to tell you the power of God. There is a story that I've never told anybody ever, ever, ever in a million years. It's kind of, and I probably shouldn't keep it a secret because in the lifestyle I have, secrets can kill, right? Secrets can kill. So there is a story that had happened to me, and I've got to tell you guys this because I feel compelled to do so. It's an embarrassing story for Bullhorn Betty. But it happened several years. You guys know one of my my relapses were back in 2008. Well, I had another relapse prior to that. But that was my official last, whatever. But either way, I had this situation where you could just tell God had his hands all in this. And I remember I was going out. I don't know why. I was just in a weak moment. I just beating myself up. I was just having some major issues at the moment. Very weak. And I always tell you, I always have to be, they actually don't want you. They'd say, abstain from alcohol, whatever. I don't really drink that much anymore, but when I do have to be careful. If I do drink, it's got to be 1 or 2 glasses. It can't be 3 or 4 because that could really do me in again. It could kill me. So anyways, this particular event or situation or whatever time frame, I had a little more to drink than I should have. And I was still very new, very irresponsible for doing so. But I was going to look for my substance of choice. Never had a car problem in my life. Never broke down, never, nothing, right? I broke down. Not only that, car would not start. And I mean, would not start. As soon as, I can't remember, but it was several different things that happened. It was the car didn't start. Then it was this, then it was that, then it was this. Next thing you know, the whole idea of what I was going out for had dissipated because I had been hit with so many problems, one right after another, that it literally corrected, jolted me out of whatever trance I was in. And I was going. I was hell-bent. I was going. I made my decision. I had a bad day. I didn't want this recovery anymore because life was, at least I knew what to expect in that old life. This new life was unknown to me. I was uncomfortable with it. I was, it wasn't. Second thesis, again, this is where it was not the alternator. It was not the battery. That car started the next day and never had a problem again. That car literally started the next day and never one problem. Well, until it got towed out of here and, sold and I got the SUV. It was the other car, Actually, I don't even think it was the other car. I think it was my Dodge. It's my red car. It was my Dodge. And it wasn't an alternator because I had a, what was it? Was it a, I don't even remember what my car, Stratus. That's what it was. I had a 2005 Dodge Stratus. It was a 4-door, but it had the spoiler on the back. It was sporty and it had the chrome rims. It was a gorgeous car. I got to be honest with you. When I lost that car broke my heart. That car broke my heart. But the car, I never had a problem with that car again. Well, I shouldn't say that, like 3 or 4 years later, the compressor went out and it cost me $1,000. But I'm talking about, I never had to change the battery in that car. When I finally sold the car, I never changed the battery. Whatever happened that one event. That it was literally that one event. When I went back to get the car cranked up like that, I never had a problem again. It was crazy. God's hand was in it. All right, I'm not going to spend too much time on me this morning. We're going to get all the gunk. I just thought that was really a powerful message. Be prepared. You never know when life tests you. I feel like that. The reason why I'm telling you that story is because I feel like that was my test, right? That was my test. And I failed. And that's okay. But I didn't fail. I'm here. It was a growth. It was learning. And it was learning about myself. I got to tell you, over this last year, I think I've learned a lot about myself and my strengths, more than I did when 20 years ago when I started going into the rooms for recovery. I don't do this recovery thing perfect, as you guys know. I'm as blunt can be because I'm 44, trying to reduce my age. Not working for you, Betty, not working for you. But, I feel like I'm 44 years old. I really don't care. I think that's probably part of the problem with the hate channels on here. They want me to be emotional about how they feel about me. And I could really give two shits about how some idiot that never met me feels about me, that they didn't even bother taking the time to learn anything about me before making a decision. To me, I think they're idiots. So I really don't care if it offends people. Quite frankly, I want those types of idiots out of my chat completely. Like, I don't want you here. I'm not a click, view, and numbers type of girl. I actually do the content. People look at it. They look at it. If they don't, they don't. Guess what? I've been wildly successful. When I'm not sitting in this room right here and we're out in that field, we do amazing stuff and people support the hell out of it, period. And we need to start working. We need to start getting out of there. So as we start, 2024 is going to be different. We were straddled with all this garbage in 2023, intentional garbage. And I see that there's some stuff that's already starting to percolate back up that they think they're going to start moving some pieces. So we're going to be in court. Apparently, this is not going to go away until every last one of them is sued. And that is exactly what I'm planning on and committing to doing. So I see that they're trying to, form this legal fund. Well, that legal fund, they're going to have some problems with. And I'm just throwing that out there because I'm going to be dropping my paperwork here in just another day into the court systems. And so we'll see what the judge has to say. And I really just am over this crap. I think they're garbage. I think their commentary is garbage. I think they need to do better. And I think if they're going to say it's tout true crime, they need to stick to true crime, because what they're doing is not true crime. It is not drama. It's not crama. It is called bullying. It is a straight up bully channel. You got 5 minutes of commentary on a true crime case, and the rest of the 6 fucking hours is complaining about some other creator. Maybe you need to look at yourself and review yourself before you're concerned about anyone else. I also found out the indigenous lady, the gluten, her skin is about as white as mine. Lies. All lies. I'm so tired of it. So tired of it. So, say la vie. Say la vie. But I got my platform, and I can do whatever the hell I want on it. As long as it's lawful, right? So that's what we do. We don't need to be nasty pieces of garbage on the streets of YouTube. Trust me, we got enough channels for that. All right. Here we go, guys. This one here is a very, very vague case. And when I say vague, you learn that this woman was brutalized. It almost, the sound of it, it sounds like this guy that brutalized her is an ex-boyfriend. But for whatever reason, law enforcement, I don't get this whole thing of why law enforcement has to block the relationship status from the public. Like, for me personally, I don't see where identifying the relationship between the assailant and the victim is affecting the integrity of the case. I don't understand that. I don't see, if he was her boyfriend, say it was her boyfriend. If it was her estranged husband, say it's an estranged husband. If it was a stalker, tell us she had a stalker. This whole idea that, there's an unknown relationship between the two. It seemed to me that she was stalked because she was leaving work when she was grabbed and taken into the woods, into this wooded area. And even though they're saying that they can't, I'm looking at this guy, and this guy, it's a whole bunch of, it's just strange. This case, and you'll understand why. Of course, it's in California, where I shouldn't say where the crazies are bred, because I live in Florida, and I think we're competing states in the crazy department. And so a California man has been charged with the murder of 27-year-old woman who was allegedly beaten with a fire extinguisher. Jesus. Excuse my language, but Lord have mercy. This is just, what is wrong? These young people, man, they're just so freaking violent. They're twisted. But our government and our pharmaceuticals have nothing to do with it. It's just mental illness, guys. I just want to make sure that we let our audience know what our government is telling us. It's not the drugs. It's not the pharmaceuticals. It's not the education. It's not the videos. It is mental illness. Okay? That's what our government says it is. That has to be what it is, because our government told us to believe that. California man who's been charged with, okay, we got that. Following his arrest Wednesday in relation to the death of Tatum Goodwin, Dino Marino, I'm going to say that because Rojas, it's Dino Rojas Marino, 26, was charged with special circumstances, murdering for beating 27-year-old to death with the fire extinguisher and leaving her body with sandbags covering her head in a nearby construction site. This was in Orange County in California. You're about to see this guy. He doesn't look like the type that we're used to, Per Orange County DA's office, Rojas Marino charges included one felony count of murder, one felony enhancement of special circumstances committing the murder and the commission of a kidnapping, and one felony enhancement for personal use of a weapon, such as a fire extinguisher. I mean, that's a lethal weapon, so I'm sure that's what it is. Look at that. I mean, he doesn't look right. I mean, we always see when somebody kills somebody, you always see this deadness in their eyes. I don't know what it is, but it's just something you see. The weird thing is the serial killers can hide this look that you're seeing in his eyes from the people. He can't. That man looks like he's dead inside. So she was found at the 200 block of Ocean Avenue in Laguna Beach in California at about 8:20 a.m. on November 12th under a chain link fence, the area behind the restaurant she worked. So there's Dino Rojas Marino. And he allegedly approached Goodwin around 1 a.m. on November 11th while she was close to her car in the parking lot, and where her body was later found per Orange County. So she was behind her building in a desolated area, construction site, so to speak. Authorities further alleged he then assaulted her and dragged her away from the parking lot to a secluded area behind the theater that was under construction. He is then accused of beating her. It is unclear. This is what bothers me. It is unclear whether Goodwin had any prior relationship with Rojas Marino. Rojas Marino failed to show up at work the day later, claiming he was jumped by several men in Santa Ana, according to the news release. So they're not saying what relationship he had, but I have to say it seems like that he either R'd her, and this was an attack with R, and that might be the special circumstances that they're not alleging, or he was like an ex-boyfriend or in a relationship with her and she was leaving him and he wanted to, I don't know. I really don't know. At the time, the authorities stated that the woman identified had been confirmed by Orange County Sheriff Coroner Division to be Tatum Goodwin of San Clemente. The loss of innocent life is a travesty for our entire community, the district attorney stated. It is heartbreaking that such a young woman with her entire future ahead of her had a life ended in such a brutal way and then discarded like she didn't even matter. She mattered. She did matter. All our victims matter here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. It doesn't matter what kind of walk of life they have, matter, because that's somebody's mother, child, and we don't judge, right? But for the grace of us, but for the grace of God, there go I, right? We all have our own problems. We all have our own problems. This one is kind of, I'm going to pull up this Law and Order story here because it's a man convicted after killing father in front of daughter outside of Dave and Buster's. This was a pretty sad story. But I actually, even though this video that you're seeing right there, it has nothing to do with the story, I still want you to watch it. So I really don't have any information on it than that, but I want you guys to watch it anyways because it's interesting. This one is there was a fight or something at a restaurant, Dave and Buster's, and apparently this father and son left Dave and Buster's and went to the car, and it appeared that somebody robbed them, and there was a scuffle for like a watch and a wallet, and then all of a sudden the guy was shot. And after a week of crime, they released a composite sketch of the suspect. So it appears that the not a daughter. I think it was a son. I think it was. No, it says daughter outside of Dave and Buster's, but something in here says son on it. The random murder initially stumped investigators. A week after the crime, they released a composite sketch of the suspect in the surveillance video driving away. What they didn't know at the time was the suspect had already been arrested. So that was the problem. The reason why they were on this manhunt for this guy is they didn't realize he was arrested for a completely a different crime. They said he drove away. What they didn't know is the suspect had already been arrested for another crime, and he was in possession of the murder weapon. 4 days after Vasquez murder, police were called to a home where a 3-year-old boy, listen to this. So he shoots this guy, kills this guy at the Dave and Buster's. Then all of a sudden, 4 days later, a 3-year-old boy had grabbed the gun and shot the bathroom top of the bathroom by his father, accidentally shooting himself. The boy survived, and his father, Nicholas Dwayne Thomas, was arrested for endangering that child. And when they did the ballistics on the gun, they realized it was attached to this Dave and Buster's shooting and death. So the guy's now in jail. Good thing. Bad dude, right? Look at it. One person dead. This is what I talk about when I talk about it only takes one bad dude. You've got only one bad dude. You've got a 3-year-old shot and another man laying in the morgue. And it had that 3-year-old not been shot, I'm sure there would have been other bodies laying in the morgue. It's really just that crazy, to be honest with you. This one is a sad story. This next case, it's a sad story, but one that, in my opinion, in a situation like this, ended as well as it could potentially or possibly end. This is one where a man just kind of went on this rampage. I don't know. I'm unclear whether or not he had any type of connection with these women or if he was just angry. They ended up finding him. He's unalived. It appears that he unalived himself, but there for a little bit, Memphis was on high alert. Memphis, Tennessee. They were very, very unnerved. It was a very worrisome situation, because a string of shootings across Memphis, Tennessee left 4 women dead and 1 critically injured Sunday evening, prompting a hours-long manhunt for suspect who was later found dead, police said. Officers reported to shots fired on Howard Drive at about 9:22 a.m., Memphis Police Department said. Through the course of the investigation, it had been determined that this scene and 2 other recent shooting scenes are connected and involve the same suspect. That's the suspect right there. Let me put it up on big screen, see. And there's a bit better photo of him, so I'll make sure that we get that new photo of him up. Police named the suspect Marvin Christian, 52. He was discovered about 3:30 a.m. on Sunday with a fatal gunshot wound following a manhunt, police said. The wound appeared to be self-inflicted. The man, we're coming up to a better picture of him. The police had earlier released Christian's photos saying he may have been driving a white 2017 Chevrolet Malibu. If you see him, please call 911. Obviously, we don't need to worry about that right now. They did find him, and he is okay, or not okay. He is deceased, and everything, the scene is okay. They've cleared the scene. Things are getting back to normal. But 4 women lost their life, 1 critically, and obviously he has lost his life too. It doesn't say, I don't recall it saying the reason. I think this is really unknown if for all intents and purposes. 1 woman was shot and killed on Howard Drive. Another one was had been hit on Field Lark Road. 2 other women were fatally shot, police said. The 3rd woman was critically injured. Shootings were being investigated for domestic violence incidents. So is this family members of him? It's very vague as to what's going on in this man's life, who the victims are. I'm sure over the next few days, we will start learning about the victims. An evil gunman murdered 3 women and a teenage girl in a vicious killing. Wow. So now we're getting a little more update on here. Last night has been revealed that the relatives of 4 victims as harrowing details emerge. So Marvin Christian Jr. carried out 3 separate gun attacks. Let me put this, I'll make this a little bit bigger. I'm not reading chat, and I'll stop after this and catch up on chat. If we have any questions, you guys can throw that in there. Hey, Tony. Good morning. I went through the list. Yes, I did. So I just need to catch up on the people that are come in. And if you guys are just coming into chat and I haven't said good morning to you, I just want to tell you good morning, guys. I hope you're doing well. I really do. I hope you're doing amazing this wonderful morning. It says over 4 hours in 3 separate occasions across Memphis, Tennessee last night, leaving 2 women and one 13-year-old girl dead. A 15-year-old girl who was also critically wounded in the attack. Police have since revealed that Mavis had targeted his female relatives in what they called a domestic violence spree, and said he was found dead in a car after shooting himself. Law enforcement confirmed that they found the body of Christian, 52, on Sunday morning, and he suffered from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The Memphis Police Department said, based on preliminary information available to them, the shooting attacks were likely a result of domestic violence dispute. The identity of these victims have not been made public, but it is understood that they are relatives of Christian. 3 separate incidences. I don't get it. Memphis said November 19th at 3:31 a.m. Officers located who is believed to be the suspect, Mavis Christian Jr., inside a white Chevrolet Malibu at the 3000 block of Alta Road, suffering from what appears to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound, and was pronounced deceased at that location. Preliminary information indicates this was a domestic violence incident, and the suspect is a known relative who fled each scene in a white Chevy Malibu. The massive manhunt was launched to locate Christian following the shooting. His body was found, okay, through collaborative effort, blah, blah, blah. Globally, women are far more likely to be killed by men. Okay, we're getting into statistics. So that's really all I have on that front. So it sounds like these women were relatives. You know, is this a wife and sister and in-laws? I mean, was the 13-year-old his child? Jeez, you know, I don't understand. Just move on, right? Your life goes to crap. Nobody wants to be, just move on. Move on, build your life up. Why be around people that don't want to be around you? Why go kill them? Just move on. It's not them. Trust me. If you're the one holding the gun, believe me, you are the one with the problem, okay? You are the one with the problem if you're the one holding the gun, okay? Let me clear that up for you if you think it's them. Just saying. Just saying. So I thought this was interesting. This is tracking gun crimes. This is, you know, a New York thing. But I thought it was interesting because it's new technology. You know, I thought it was interesting. Maybe throw that out there. Maybe it's something that we might be able to see, use, feel, touch, you know, whatever on another case. You know me, it's all about education, right? I hated going to school and being educated myself, but yet I feel the need to educate everybody else and do exactly what I never wanted to do. Sounds like a human being. It sounds like I'm a freaking hypocrite. Join the club, right? Join the club. Lots of them on here. At least I own it.
Found by investigators.
Let's go back.
In our region is our top story. Violence in our region is rampant. And new technology that can compare cartridge casings found by investigators at crime scenes within minutes is being spread to others around the country. News 10 NBC's Brett Vetter joins us in studio with more on why this is such a significant step forward.
Yay, more technology.
The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives is advancing its technology, to help police combat violence. The newly installed system is now at RPD headquarters. The equipment will help make tracking down gun crimes faster. Earlier today, I had a chance to see just how this new system works.
We'll evaluate them under a microscope. We'll determine if those cartridge casings came from the same gun or multiple guns.
Here's a peek at the system law enforcement officers will be using.
And through this new technology, we can match one gun. Even though we don't have the gun, we can tell that gun is connected to multiple shootings.
Monroe Crime Analysis Center Director David Phelps says that the new software will help law enforcement around Monroe County and beyond.
We are able to track all of the shootings throughout the Finger Lakes region and compare them.
Sorry, guys. Let me start it up.
Story. Violence in our region is rampant. And
I don't know what's going on with my computer. It's like it's got gremlins in it. It adjusts itself. I don't know what's happening. Okay, the volume was truly down. I could literally hear it in my ear, but you guys couldn't hear it at all. So let me just start it over again so you guys get it. This is awesome, baby. This is awesome. You're going to want to hear this.
New technology that can compare cartridge casings found by investigators at crime scenes within minutes is being spread to others around the country. News 10 NBC's Brett Vetter joins us in studio with more on why this is such a significant step forward. Brett.
Yeah, Marcia, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives it is advancing its technology, to help police combat violence. The newly installed system is now at RPD headquarters. The equipment will help make tracking down gun crimes faster. Earlier today, I had a chance to see just how this new system works.
We'll evaluate them under a microscope. We'll determine if those cartridge casings came from the same gun or multiple guns.
Here's a peek at the system law enforcement officers will be using.
And through this new technology, we can match one gun, even though we don't have the gun, we can tell that gun is connected to multiple shootings.
Monroe Crime Analysis Center Director David
That's what I was saying. That's
the new
huge.
software will help law enforcement around Monroe County and beyond.
We are able to track all of the shootings throughout the Finger Lakes region and compare them around the country. The shootings have taken place through the ATF's investigative tools.
Michael Curran is the resident agent in charge of the ATF field office in Rochester and says that the speed of the new equipment is going to make solving gun crimes faster and potentially save lives.
It's a real game changer because when it's months, it doesn't do law enforcement much good. Days definitely helps, but when it's within hours, someone could be potentially in custody and you can get that information right away and be very helpful to investigators.
So I think that is amazing because, having this AI, I mean, we're going to be seeing a lot of different type of advancements. I think one of the biggest advancements in modern history was the internet, right? It has changed the way we do so many things. I mean, literally, you can go, in all fairness, if somebody was dedicated enough and say they wanted to learn and educate themselves, say on crime scene process. Normal people go to college and do that. You could literally learn everything from a college online for free. Now you don't have the teacher and the lecturer and the tests and the diploma, but you can literally learn so much online. I think the next advancement in modern history is social media, right? Social media. And that's just, but now we have this whole AI. They've been working on AI for literally decades. And they're now getting to the point where they have started producing programs and stuff like that. It's an amazing situation where this AI is basically the brain, right? It thinks so much quicker and faster than we can. It sees things, it sees indentations. It's amazing. AI is amazing. And I think that's what they're utilizing on here is a lot of, automated animation or, digital animation type of stuff, AI. So it's really interesting, but I think that has a lot to do with this particular program, but I thought it was interesting. So there you go. So if there's something going on, tell your community, tell your law enforcement. For the people that are plugged into their community, let your law enforcement know that there's this new advancement that can really cut their gun crimes down, at least get them some information to go after people or know that this gun within minutes is associated. Like we just had this guy, right? We were just talking about the guy that killed 4 family members and has one in critical condition, a 15-year-old girl that's in critical condition at the hospital, may lose her life. Critical condition is just that. She's not stable. And then we follow that by this, where they literally could have used this and within minutes knew all those crime scenes were related. They eventually knew probably because the family members or somebody saw him and were able to tell law enforcement that it was him. But if it was an unknown person or they didn't know who it was, this program would have literally, that case we just covered, would have literally been used. This program could have been used to help. Can't remember why I brought this one up. For something. This one doesn't really have a whole lot. It's another one out of Burlington, a man charged with child S crimes, officers say, and I don't know why I have this here, but I went through it. So there must be something in here I wanted you guys to see. A Burlington man was facing several felony charges against a child. October 16th. This is an old story too, so there's got to be something in here that I was looking at. It's taken into custody. Maybe I just forgot to remove it when I was reading it because there's nothing there. Now we are to Alec Murdaugh. What do you guys think about Alec Murdaugh? Because I've got to be honest with you. Put this back up here. I got to be honest with you. I'm kind of questioning. I'm literally trying to question why in the world he decided to plead guilty for his financial crimes. I feel like there was something else, another bombshell revelation that would have came out in this financial crimes that would have put Alec Murdaugh in more hot water with other potential crimes. Like, I feel as much as his attorneys and he kind of likes attention, right? Like, every opportunity that his defense team has an opportunity to be in front of the camera with some breaking news on how they're going to do something and how somebody violated Alec Murdaugh's rights. And it's never about the victims or the violations of rights he's done to other people. It's about, how unfair Alec Murdaugh is being treated somehow, some way, whatever. Improper, the clerk did it. The clerk's the one that got him found guilty. It's all the clerk's fault. Alec is this upstanding citizen that does nothing wrong, even though he just pled guilty to a litany of financial crimes, including money laundering. But hey, I digress, right? I digress. Apparently in this country, when you commit crimes and you acknowledge that you commit crimes, apparently there's going to be a point later down the road that you're going to say and backtrack and say, no, I just did it because I didn't want to go to court. I didn't want to have to fight or litigate the case or prosecute the right? We hear that all the time. And it's like, well, you can't now say that when, like, even this conviction, you just pled guilty. You can't now go back and tell everybody I only did it because, well, I didn't feel like fighting in court. But you just pled guilty. And now you have restitution. Makes it a little difficult to say you didn't do it because you had an opportunity to argue you didn't do it and you chose not to. You chose not to. So this one says family secrets, tumult and trauma are the heart of so many, if not most. True crime stories breed some of the most bizarre betrayals. Here are 4 picks, including, so these are I asked for crazy stories because crazy movies. This is what this one's about, crazy movies. And so the first one that pops up is the Murdaugh murder scandals. There's other videos out there that I think that you guys would also be very interested in. Let me get down here. There it is. American Scandal. This is the kidnap of Patty Hearst. Remember Patty Hearst? We have The Family Next Door. These are all good. And this is not like the Murdaugh series. This is a heartbreaking film from the director, Jenny Popplewell. Uses home videos, text message, law enforcement recordings, and body camera footage to profound effect. In fact, this documentary is constructed nearly entirely out of archival footage, and the horror that unfolded are presented without much influence or input from others. In 2018, a pregnant Shannon Watts, 34, and her young daughters seemingly vanished from their home in Frederick, Colorado, though her purse, keys, and phone were found there. Her husband, Chris, tries to spin their sudden disappearance into something it wasn't. So you get the drift. We got some good movies out there if you guys are interested. Mommy, Dead, and Dearest. Mommy, Dead, and Dearest. It's an HBO documentary, and I'm not sure what that one's about. It's not really interesting for me. But those 2 other ones were the ones that were interesting for me and why I brought this up. And I think that's about it on that front. And then we're just going to get in. You guys know, because we talked about it yesterday. We did the Shakira Rucker case a couple days ago. And yesterday, we found out that she was found in a her ex-husband's storage bin. So she went out to dinner with Corey Hill. We saw the video of her going out to dinner, and then she disappeared. What we found through the press conference, which was pretty shocking to us, was that she was killed at the storage unit. So it makes people wonder, how did she get to the storage unit? What time did they show up there? Did they leave from the restaurant and go directly to the storage unit? There was mainstream media at this press conference, and you would have expected mainstream media to ask these types of questions. Some of them did ask some good questions. I think there was 2 questions that I thought were decent questions that were asked at that press conference. But I have to tell you, I was wholly disappointed with the questions, asked of the mainstream media, the press in that community, because it was more about the victims. And yes, we understand, not the victim. We know the victim's dead, but more about her family. And while we do respect the family and we can understand the gravity that this type of case has on any family, we can only imagine how painful this has to be. That wasn't the purpose of that press conference. The purpose of that press conference is to tell us that they found her and that they found her in a storage unit. Yet none of the questions, very limited of the questions, were actually directed at those very facts. So we didn't get a whole lot from the press conference. We don't know if they have surveillance. We don't know what time that they got there. We don't know if he used a key card. All we know at this point is she was found inside the unit. The unit belongs to Corey Hill. The storage unit facility is the one that called law enforcement because they started smelling a foul odor emitting from that unit. And so they came there and realized that it belonged to Corey Hill, and they went inside and realized that Shakira was inside that unit, deceased. How did she get there? We have no idea. We knew he did it because of his behavior. He was already in jail for shooting up what they say an ex-girlfriend's family's home. And I heard early on that it was her family's home. So I'm very, I don't know if it's another girlfriend or if it truly was her family that he shot up. But there was a shooting incident that happened after she disappeared, after this dinner, and apparently now, hindsight, after her visit to this storage unit. They didn't, nobody asked whether he brought the gun with him, whether the gun was at the storage unit. If they knew any of those details, if they were willing to share any of these details. These are details that matter to me and my audience, and I have to think that they matter to mainstream media and their audience, and they failed. They got a big fat F on that interview, and that was out of my community. Had I known that press conference was going on in Tampa, I would have been there. I would have been there because I would have asked those questions. I would have wanted to know everything about that storage unit. And now, because of mainstream media and the fact that I sat here at the house, we will not know. So I'm going to try to reach out to their public information officer and see if I can derive any type of any additional information that they'll be willing to share. What I don't like is usually after the fact, they don't share as much with you. Like your time to ask the questions usually are at that press conference, because if they can't answer at the press conference, usually the follow-up is what really kind of helps work that way. But coming in and asking these questions after the press conference is over, I'm probably going to get a big fat, this goes to the direct, whatever, the integrity of the investigation, yada, 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 whatever. So we've covered some cases. We're up to an hour on our show. This is what I'm going to do. Let me get over here. I know it's already on, but I want to make sure that all my sounds are also on. Let me make sure I got the sound cards on. Okay, we got the sound cards on. I'm just going to we're going to continue to go. How we're going to do this is we haven't done a call-in show in a really long time, where we've done a little bit of a panel. We've had a couple panel guests, but we haven't really done a call-in session for people to discuss new cases, to discuss their opinions about any of the cases that we covered, just say good morning, whatever you guys like to do. And we just haven't chatted personally. You guys have heard me talk on this end of the screen. I've read your chats on that end of the screen, but I haven't talked to you guys in a while. So the phones are open. We're going to continue going down. Just understand that, I might be talking about something totally different, and then the phone rings and somebody directs our conversation to a different case or a different stuff. Just be patient. We'll get back to the paperwork as the phones, start ringing and whatnot. Let me make sure these are all on. Android device, and we have the web. So there you go. So if you guys would like to call in, you're more than welcome. I'm going to take this. I'm going to have to take the stuff off my screen because when the phone rings, I'm going to have to show the phone, and I don't want to accidentally dox anybody's phone number by having that screen up. So you're just going to see me for the last hour of the show. You're going to just see me. We're not until the end. We're going to have the phones open, and I'll just read what we've got going on here. And we never even watched that one video I wanted you guys to watch. So I'm just going to read this. So there was also another a situation. I don't know if you heard of Karen Cope and her husband DeVito. Did you guys hear about that? They have a chiropractic office, and apparently they disappeared. So there's a disappearance of a chiropractor and his wife. Detectives released grim news about the missing Washington State couple. So this is over in Washington State, over near Idaho, Wazoo, Brian Koberger, that area of the country. They think that the beloved chiropractic Karen, I don't know, again, it's Koep, so I don't know if it's Cope or Coep. I don't know how to pronounce it. And her husband, only known as DeVito, 68, are dead. Deputies announced that they arrived, that they arrested their killer, a man who knew the still missing victims. The Thurston County Sheriff's Office in Washington State did not identify the man, suggested a motive, or otherwise describe him except saying he's in his 40s. And they're booking him into jail for 2 counts of murder in the first degree and kidnapping in the first degree. The investigation is ongoing. And I'm looking at the age of these people, and that person's 40. So I don't know why I feel like this might be a family member, but I feel like this might be another family member. Deputies had responded Monday to a welfare check after Karen Cope missed work. They arrived at her home in Lake Forest Development, discovering that the couple was missing. Authorities at the time simply described the circumstances of their disappearance to be suspicious. Law enforcement found their vehicle, reportedly a gray 4-door Toyota Yaris hatchback, near 67th Avenue Southeast and Rayner Road Southeast, about 6 miles from their home. So 6 miles indicates that that's probably the area the assailant may be in. He drove the car. He is probably within a mile or 2 of that location of where the car was dropped. Typically, that doesn't mean that is what it is. He could have had a car there and just dropped that car, picked up his car, and went on his way. But typically when you have somebody that steals a car and dumps a car several miles away, that's typically where they reside, somewhere in and around in that particular vicinity, or have work in that vicinity. They're connected to the vicinity somehow, some way. 2 days later, authorities asked anyone who saw the vehicle over the weekend to step forward. To ensure the integrity of the investigation, we will not release any more details, they wrote. If he's the killer, it's unclear why this unidentified man allegedly killed the couple. So it's still, I wonder if this is a stranger danger. 40, I still feel kind of like this might be the whole Thomas Matajek type of situation, where brutalizing mom seems like a good idea. I don't get these people. I've been seeing her for probably about a year. Patient Kira Polk said, my husband knew her just by going to the gym with her. He always said great things about her. I started seeing her as a patient. She's been absolutely amazing. She fights tooth and nail for you. She doesn't take no for an answer. She'll find anything out that's wrong with you. So it seems like she was loved. Sad. So in this document, as you know, they fought with Judge Newman. Judge Newman recused himself off the court related to Alec Murdaugh, or at least for one of the hearings. He does, just because he recuses himself in one matter doesn't mean he's recused himself in another matter. Different cases have different elements or different witnesses or something like that. But it says that Alec pled guilty Friday for stealing millions from vulnerable legal clients in a scheme lasting over decades under an agreement that all but ensures more prison time for the long-term lawyer who was convicted of killing his wife and younger son. Murdaugh agreed to plead guilty on a total of 22 counts, including money laundering, breach of trust, and financial fraud, in exchange for a 27-year sentence. And I'm pretty sure that they had 99 counts or something. It was really, really hard. I mean, he had a lot of financial crime counts. I think it was like some ridiculous amount, like 99. Does this cover all of those? The deal yes, it just says the deal resolves 101 total state charges. 101 were pled down to 22. I mean, I get it, he's in jail for a long time, but I'm probably, me personally, am going to be on this diatribe of, when our law enforcement sends over a case and it's a felony case, like, I'm getting to the point where I'm sick of these damn plea deals. Do your job. Quit taking the easy way out. Does it cost us money? Yes, it costs us money to take somebody to trial. It costs us our community's ridiculous amounts of money to prosecute cases. Ridiculous amounts of money. I don't give a crap, right? I had a deranged lunatic literally in my backyard. That scares me. I really don't care if we have to pay a little extra taxes to take these deranged lunatics to court and to fight, to keep them in jail when they're violent people. Not throw them in halfway houses where they can escape and kill their moms, right? Every hour, on the hour. Let's give our props to the a-hole in my community right now for doing this very thing.
Hey guys, Bullhorn Betty here. So there's something going on in my community and I need your help with. So this is a double homicide that happened in my community, but there's a lot more to this case than meets the eye. This is Thomas Matajek. He actually killed his mother and her boyfriend recently, but the problem here is he shouldn't even have been out of jail. He should have been in a mental hospital, and he is deemed incompetent to stand trial. This right here is our state attorney, and his name is Ed Brodsky. He has been our state attorney in the 12th district for some time. I recently learned our law enforcement officer, Sheriff Rick Wells, has arrested this guy many times and has prepared a case and sent that over to the state prosecutor. Ed Brodsky was supposed to litigate the matter. However, he ended up taking the felony case, reducing it to a misdemeanor, sending it to a misdemeanor court, and then just a month ago sent this deranged mental patient to a halfway house where he escaped and killed his mother. How can you help Bullhorn Betty? You can help Bullhorn Betty by saying, we will not accept this. This is unacceptable. Our law enforcement does their job and they send it over to the prosecutors just to let them go. Now, 2 people in my own backyard have lost their life because of these horrible and poor decisions at the hand of the state prosecutor, not law enforcement. So please, I ask you.
So that is really the problem that I have is, our law enforcement, we beat up law enforcement all the time, right? We put a magnifying glass on all these cases and we tell the world how poorly law enforcement did the investigation because we are so ultra judgmental, right? And, we're trying to figure out these cases right along law enforcement because law enforcement doesn't give us crap to work with, right? And so if we're going to know what's going on with this case, we got to go out there and get the information ourselves. That's just how it goes, right? And sometimes we do a great job at it, and sometimes we just don't. Let's face it. But law enforcement prepares. They work really hard, lots of man hours in any of these cases. And, not only that, the state prosecutor is barely in these homes, right? It's the law enforcement that has to go and pick up these people off the floor. It's our first responders that have to go over to the houses and bandage these people up. It's not the state prosecutor. The state prosecutor gets to look at some freaking photos. Oh, okay, well, this ain't that bad. Let's just push him down to the misdemeanor court. We don't feel like doing our job today. Now, granted, Alec Murdaugh, Creighton Waters, I think he brought this case. He did a great job. Okay, he did a great job. I have utmost respect for him. To be honest with you, I honestly have utmost respect, even though we tease Poot Poot and Toot Toot and Magoo. Right? We tease them, but in all fairness, I have utmost respect for even them. They did a great job. They did a great job defending them. I mean, we didn't like the defense. We didn't like, Alec Murdaugh. He killed his family, and we have no respect for people like that. But under such the difficult amount of work, they rocked it out, guys. I mean, if we were to beat them up they did their job. We should be thankful they did their job. And here's why we should be thankful they did their job. Because they did their job so well. It's limiting the amount of appeals that will be successful for Alec Murdaugh, right? Because they did such a good job. They were such a pit bull. When he goes to court, he's not going to have a lot of the normal run-of-the-mill appeals, like ineffectiveness of counsel, for example, or another type of situation where they weren't representing him right, or he felt duped. They're going to grab at any straws that they can for an appeal because they want to get this guy off. But even his attorneys were amazing. I mean, they really were. They had a very difficult case. They were trying to help their friend. He did terrible things, but it doesn't change the fact that they were friends. And, we help our friends, even when our friends are in bad situations. And what we do is we don't get ourselves involved or get ourselves complicit, but we help them. And how do we help them? We help them by giving them the best defense possible to defend themselves. And that's what Alec had. He had the best possible defense to defend himself. And he lost because he did it. There was, and everybody's like, they didn't prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he did it. That's your opinion. Unfortunately, you were not on that jury. And even though we watched every single minute of it, we were still precluded from seeing a lot of the evidence, even at trial. They blocked it from the public. Unless you were there physically in those seats, you didn't get to see it. So this idea that this was the process, if people don't like the process, too bad. There's nothing that's going to change it. Our legal process is ingrained into our society, period. This is how it's done. And people can say, well, he didn't believe. Well, the jury, the people that we trusted to listen to the evidence and to find whether Alec Murdaugh is innocent or guilty of the crime, they knew the standard is beyond a reasonable doubt, and they convicted him. So I don't want to, at this point, you no longer get to say they didn't prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt, because I beg to say 12 jury members reached a verdict. And to them, to the people, the decision makers on that jury, which is the jury, they found that the that the prosecutor met its burden and proved their case beyond a reasonable doubt in each and every one of those jury members' minds. So there is that. But the reason why we're going on this diatribe, why charge them with 101 counts if you're just going to reduce it to 20? I'm just saying, 27 years, I'm fine with that. I think that's fair, even with the 101 counts, even if they involved all those 101 counts with this 27. I think 27 years for those financial crimes, in addition to restitution, I think is fair. I really do. I have to be honest with you. Me personally, I don't like seeing double digit. I don't like seeing double digit sentencing for financial crimes. Just me personally. I think a financial crime, 9 years or less. I don't like seeing double digit sentencings for financial crimes. I think that is, to me, morally disgusting. Just personally. I find it morally disgusting because I see people get more time for financial crimes than I do for them taking somebody's human life away from them. And to me, that is morally wrong. Because what our country is saying is that we put money above even your own life. And that makes me sick to my stomach. Because I beg to differ. I beg to say, you can't take that money with you. And the dash in my life means a heck of a lot more than financial gain. We have you? Can't imagine that. Okay, well, I'll leave you here. He still has to go to federal court for financial. Yes, he does. He does have to go to the federal court. And you know what? To be honest with you, the federal charges, I have to think that for his federal charges, he's going to want to be in federal jail. I hear that federal custody is a lot more relaxed than, say, state custody. I've heard that. You know, what can I say? I got people in. Don't piss me off, Alec. I got somebody that can get to you. I'm just joking. Stop. Don't be calling the police that I'm threatening somebody. Right? I'm starting to feel bad for Ed because when I ran the first story for Ed, I'm thinking, oh, here comes the hate. I know the haters are going to just call him up and say, did you see what Betty did? Do you know who Betty is? And it's like, yeah, like they know me. They know me. You know why I got friends around here? Because they want to keep me calm, right? Let's be honest. Like my political friends, they're like, oh shit, you know, let's just keep her calm, right? That's where it is. Okay. I when I throw a temper tantrum here, like the whole county hears it, right? It's not like I go and write a letter. Okay. Usually when I'm pissed off here, I'm on somebody's front doorstep. Okay. Not literally home front doorstep unless you committed a crime or you're a crappy school board teacher or not school board teacher, school board member, like the school board member, like the person that we vote for. Because I did show up at that one school board member's house, but that was before the Bullhorn, right? I was dragging a one of those what do they call the karaoke machines with the microphone? That was the karaoke days. That was before we upgraded to the Bullhorn. But you know, I mean, when I have a problem here, that's what they typically have to deal with me. You know, I'll go to their office, and you don't want to tell me no. Like if I went to Ed Brodsky's office right now, and they were telling me that you know, he's not going to see me or doesn't want to talk to me, well, somebody's going to have to talk to me. You know, and if they don't, I'll sit my butt right there. And I'll be the most pleasant person in the world. Like people, that's the thing with me. Like you know, you hear me on here and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do this. Right. And I sound like a hard ass, right? I sound like this hard ass. Like I'm going to go there and I'm going to make him speak to me. Right. Right. I'm going to make him speak to me. Because I've got a fake reputation to uphold first and foremost. And sometimes I do use that for my advantage, but I'm so pleasant. So I'll sit there and I'm saying, okay, so he's busy and can't see me. Yes, ma'am. Okay, perfect. I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to sit right here. Well, he's not going to be ready for a few hours. That's okay. You know, I've got nothing to do today. I absolutely have nothing to do today. You're fine. I'm just going to sit here. And if he can squeeze me in sometime, let him squeeze me in. And then you'll hear, you know, typically we'll get a little pop out of the thing said, well, could you make him? No, I'm not going to schedule an appointment. No, no, I'll sit right here. Don't worry. I'm fine. I got nothing to do today. You good? Go do you. I'll be right here waiting for you. Because what I'm going to end up doing, you're not leaving that facility without me knowing it, right? If I got to go sit out in the hall, I'll sit out in the hall. You're not taking the escalators. Like you're going to talk to me. So you can either fight with me about it, or I'm going to catch you by your car and start peppering you with a bunch of questions in front of a camera. You know? Like, I'm pretty hot about this stuff. I knew this stuff goes on. We talk about plea deals all the time and what type plea deals work. You know, I don't know. I've changed. I've changed in like 48 hours on my stance on this. Like like at this point, I want no plea deals. None. I have now been affected by a plea deal in a negative way. I don't like them anymore, like the roundabouts. Like I hate roundabouts. Get the roundabouts out of my county, please. Make sure you hit that like button. I don't know if I earned it today. I'm like half asleep here because I fell asleep early and then I woke up at 9 o'clock and I was up half the damn night. I've got no energy this morning. And I'm like looking at the time, like, can I push it back? I'm like, no, you cannot push that, because that's my weakest point is I always talk myself into doing something that I know is wrong. And I've told you guys, we're getting back on track on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Our show starts at 6:30. So I told myself that this morning. I said, nope, I don't care if you are falling over, yawning in their face, you're getting your butt up and you're doing your job. So I begrudgingly, this is, and then after I get a cup of coffee, got this. Coffee does wonders. Coffee does wonders. So Sonia says, this is my YouTube channel I was using to bring awareness to the missing. Please sub and like. So if you guys have not subbed up to Sonia's channel, please consider doing so. She's doing a lot of work. Like I said, she does a lot of stuff. She's a great support for the Bullhorn Betty channel. And we definitely love seeing people get out there and do their thing and grow. And we love to support them because you know what? We get a lot of good people on YouTube. It drowns out all the crap on YouTube. So Sonia, buckle up, Buttercup. I don't know what else to say. Keep your head high and don't listen to nobody. Put those blinders on. You know, there's a reason why horses have those things, right? On the side of their face. There's a reason why they put those when they're racing. They don't want their horse being distracted, right? They don't want their horse being distracted. So that's what we do. We put our blinder, we put our side curtains up, right? And we keep ourselves aimed at the prize, focused on the prize. Focus on the prize. We bring it home. Alec Murdaugh, not so much. You know, he once upon a time was able to be sleazy and bring it on home, but not no more. He got too greedy and he killed his family. And there's nothing that irritates me so much. And I know that people are just dense. There's just some people out there that you could literally put the puzzle together for them. And they'll say you did it wrong. I'm like, There's still people out there that truly believe Alec Murdaugh did not kill his wife and his son. There are seriously people out there that truly believe this. Who do they think did it? There's nobody out there. Like, it's their house. That's it. 1,700 acres. It's their house. I want these people to almost come on the channel. Like, if you're watching and you're like, oh, he did it, yes, this is it, call. We're waiting for your phone call. Like, I want to hear this. I want to hear the reason you think he's innocent. Because I'm looking at it from a totally different lens. Everybody keeps saying they didn't prove their case. Well, obviously they did, because he's guilty. So they proved their case. But in light of it, I have a totally different argument. I think they proved their case beyond a reasonable doubt. They proved it to me. I was screaming guilty, right? I was screaming guilty. They proved it to me. But it's not me. I don't matter. It's the jury. They proved it to the jury. But people are still out there saying that they didn't prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. Who else would have done it? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Who else would have carried out this case but Alec Murdaugh? Who else had motive, means, and opportunity? They keep trying to plan B Mallory Beach's family or somebody associated with that lawsuit. But why would they give up? You guys heard the lawsuit amount. They got a staggering, a whopping millions and millions of dollars for their case. They would never have jeopardized that millions of dollars to off a mom that had nothing to do with it and her son that had everything to do with it, leaving Alec flapping in the wind. It doesn't make sense. And if it makes sense, make it make sense to me. That's all I'm saying. If you're gonna argue it, make it make sense to me. Hey, sweet misery, nice to see you. The video at the dog kennel sealed the fate. Yeah, exactly. Right, sweet misery, because he had been telling everybody for so long. He literally had been telling everybody how long did it take? Like almost 2 years to bring this case to trial, something like that, a year and a half, or I don't remember exactly. How long it took them to bring it to trial, but he had been telling people that whole entire time, literally from the night the incident happened. We played all the interview tapes that were released to the media. We requested them. They sent them to me. We played them. He sat there and said over and over and over, not just to law enforcement, not just to the detectives, not just to the FBI liaison, not just to his family, not just to his friends, but his attorney and even closer confidants. He was not there. He was not at the dog kennel. He didn't have time to go there. None of this made sense, but that was his story. And he tried, in my opinion, to delete the evidence. But through discovery and records from Google and the cell phone, they were able to see certain things weren't right. So, now that we know that every country, county, and everything plays these plea deals and puts our lives in jeopardy, this is one thing. I don't really care if people play, Russian roulette on financial crimes, right? I really don't. I don't care if they want to do plea deals and things like that. I don't care. Do what you need to do. Oh, hey, Leaf Lover Liz. Of course, tongue-tied. I haven't seen you in here a while. So what do you think about the clerk of court's behavior and how it affected his trial and outcome? So we've talked about that on here, Leaf Lover Liz. So I'll just address that because I think that's a valid and great question, by the way. Great question. So me personally, and this is just my personal opinion, I think she acted within everything. I think she was she conducted herself professionally. I think she followed every single rule and procedure. I have to say, when I heard that they were doing the motion to dismiss the trial based upon her conduct because of this book, which all the allegations related to that book were false. They knew that, and they still did that. To me, I feel like Alec Murdaugh's team should be sanctioned. Personally, I think they should be sanctioned for their conduct related to this, but I digress. How do I think the outcome? I think it's got problems. I don't think they're going to be successful at getting a new trial because here's the issues that I see just on its face. One is the two affidavits that they have from the removed jury members. I think that seems problematic because they were the only people that they have seem to be people that either got embarrassed or felt humiliated when they were removed from the jury. So there's that problem. There's another problem that I saw inside the affidavits when I read them. In the affidavits, these two witnesses stated that the clerk made these assertions in front of everyone. If she made the assertions in front of everyone, and especially with the magnifying glass and the publicity this whole motion for new trial has caused, and the fact that these attorneys have already went to all these people's houses, naturally, I truly believe that this is inaccurate. I feel that if she made these bold statements in front of the jury body, there would be more people that come forward than what appears to be people that were thwarted from the jury or had issues, felt humiliated, felt embarrassed, seemed to have some type of bone to pick. And that's where my problem is with this whole thing. I read that. When I read the motion to dismiss, I can tell you I was personally mortified. And I'm like, please don't tell me this clerk did it. Please don't tell me this clerk did it. And then I started looking into the allegations even deeper. So I reached out. I learned that this was a self-published book. This was not a contracted book. She wasn't being paid millions of dollars for this book. And here's the kicker. She actually did everything right in order to publish this book above board. She has rights. Just because she's a clerk doesn't mean that she can't write a book, doesn't mean she's losing her First Amendment rights in any way, doesn't mean she can't make money from other avenues besides being a clerk. But she did the proper thing by going the step further and actually taking it before the Ethics Commission to make sure that she wasn't violating any of her oath or doing anything inappropriately. Like, she took it upon herself to go additional steps to make sure she wasn't doing anything wrong in the eyes of the law. And she got approval. So this whole argument that she did this for a book deal, it couldn't be further from the truth. When I look at that, I see a woman that just wanted to memorialize an experience that she was blessed to be a part of. I mean, it was unfortunate circumstances, but it was still a blessing to be a part of that, historical event. As disgusting as the historical event is, right? It was still historical. It was still something that will go into history. You guys have to understand, Alec Murdaugh's family is in our history books and will be in our history books for the foreseeable future. They were the longest standing solicitor family in our history, almost 100 years. So this is, a historical event, if you will. So I understand when I read the affidavit of the chain of command, how she was talking to the foreperson and people are trying to act like this was that's the proper chain of command. That's why there's appointed a foreperson. Nobody has direct access to any one person. So the foreperson has to get access through the clerk by the bailiff. The access to the judge is typically through the clerk. So you see, there's a chain of command there. So I don't know, Leaf Lover. I don't know where you're at on the argument, Leaf Lover. I really don't. That's just my personal opinion. You may agree with it. You may not. I don't work in South Carolina. I don't know any South Carolina. I mean, we know the concepts of law, right? We have the basis. Like, you being a paralegal, you know what I'm talking about. Like, you use the basis, the concept of laws that every state is built on. So they have different, statute numbers depending from the state to state. But typically, you have the same laws somewhere in your state. They're just put in different places, or they have different case law from one state to another. So I'm not familiar with South Carolina, but I have to think that this clerk did nothing wrong. Even the affidavit of her when she was speaking to the foreperson, and I read all that. I started thinking, like, there was an attorney that's like, I can't believe she was talking to the foreperson. I'm like, what? Like, who do you think the clerk talks to? What do you think that's the purpose of a foreperson? I don't get it. This is all it was weird. Like, it's just like people, I don't know, maybe the attorneys don't know how the whole jury stuff goes. Maybe we have special information because we read this stuff. We watch videos on the jury process. I mean, we educate ourselves on the jury process. Maybe they forget how it works back there behind the scenes. I don't know. I just truly don't believe it. I don't see a nefarious, I got to see that clerk personally. I didn't go and get a selfie with her, but I got to see her personally. I got to see her behaviors, and that's really all I need to do. She just didn't seem like this ultra nefarious person. I don't see her tipping the scale. My childhood best friends is Waters paralegal. Love hearing all sides. Well, you tell her God bless her. You tell her God bless her, and tell her to tell Attorney Waters that God bless him too, and thank you for their service, because I can't imagine how extremely difficult that case had to have been. It had to have been, very emotional. We heard the description, like they wouldn't even show us the photos of Paul or Maggie. Yet the people in the audience had to see it and witness it. And when they were talking and they were describing it to the people on our show and people that were watching across this country and across this world for this particular trial, it was sad. We heard some really graphic details, primarily with Paul and I don't see how a father can do stuff like that. I really don't. I don't see, I can't. I can't. And this is interesting. And I want you guys to read this while we're on the, oh shoot, I just took you off well, the phones aren't ringing anyway, so I'm fine. So if whenever you guys want to start getting the phones back on and calling in, let me know. I'll turn them on. But we have a lot of stuff that we're going to be going over the next few weeks with Brian Kohlberger, Alec Murdaugh. It looks like Alec Murdaugh's cases are going to be starting to kind of die down a little bit. I don't know what's going to happen with federal courts. I would like to get out there. I would have liked to have been out there for this, but this court stuff that I'm dealing with right now has got me grounded. And I'm trying to get through this shit as quickly as possible so we can get to the other side of this, so we can get back out on the road. I don't make money back here, period. We can sit here and talk, but we're a boots on the ground channel. So when we're sitting here, playing armchair detective, it doesn't do us any good. And it's boring for me. I have to be honest with you. We try to make it as fun as possible, but I'd much rather be out in the field. Just saying. So what else do we have? We had Brian Kohlberger stuff, didn't we? We had Brian Kohlberger stuff that we were going to be going over, but to be honest with you, I'm kind of spent. I'm going to take a break. We'll be back. It's 8:00 right now. We'll let some of the other channels kind of come out this morning and get you guys updated. I'm probably going to run 3 lives today because I'm trying to push out paperwork today, and I'm going to need to break my day up a little bit since I'm going to be working an awful lot right in this chair. So we're probably going to do 3 lives today. This is the first live. I'm probably going to do another live around 1:32, somewhere around there. And then we'll do our 6:30 at night live today. So we'll have like a little, and I don't think the lunch is going to be anything. We're just going to hang out for lunch. We're going to hang out for lunch, maybe have some lunch together. And that'll be just really our day. If I find anything or prepare a video, I'll throw that out there in the meantime. But just stick around today. I'm going to be popping in and out all day long with different cases as I'm researching. And, I just need to get, like I said, I just need to get my, I'll be here. Oh, good. Well, we'll see you back, Leaf Lover. And thank you for the question. That was a great question. I did like it. And I understand not everybody's going to agree with me, and that's perfectly fine. They may have their own perspective, but that's why I like people telling me their perspective, right? I don't like parroting because you might have something we're not looking at, right? It's like the whole Brian Kohlberger thing. When I got to Idaho, what was the very first thing I said? We are looking at all of the wrong people. The minute I was there, I powered up my live and told you, this is not any of these kids. This is someone we're not even looking for. We don't have his name. We don't know who he is. I'm telling my audience right now, this is not these children. You knew, just like I know with the Wells, when you get there, you know. So Brian Kohlberger, everybody's, up with all this DNA. They're challenging that DNA. I don't want to get in the conversation. We're going to have the Brian Kohlberger conversation, and we're going to have more detailed information because I took some massive amounts of notes related to, you know me, I don't take notes. So if I got a piece of paper and it's filled this much, that is dutiful notes, I will tell you. And it's breaking down the key evidence in the Brian Kohberger case. I know we've been kind of touchy-feely. We're kind of like, we want to go over here and talk about this DNA, but we're just not ready to. So we keep just, dipping our foot over there, and then we'll pull it back. And then we go somewhere else. And then we dip our foot back on the DNA and we pull it back. So today we're going to be discussing in detail more of this DNA, more of the key evidence and stuff related to the Idaho 4 murders. We're doing that special tonight at 6:30. Now, I don't know how many of you guys know, I have agreed, and there are so many people that have reached out to me asking me what in the world I am thinking. And I'm going to be on, we're not going to have a live here on the Bullhorn Betty channel on Wednesday at 6:30. I will be being interviewed by Morbid on his channel on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Now, people have reached out to me and it's like, oh, he doesn't mute his chat. He doesn't strike people. He doesn't do that. I get it. I understand. I understand. It's not, you're not talking to somebody going into this interview fully blind, okay? Do I trust Morbid? I don't know him to trust him. But here's what. I give everybody the opportunity to lose their trust, right? I don't go in there and when I meet you, I'm a little different, and it sets myself up to be hurt quite a bit. But I feel it's necessary. I don't care where you came from, where you go, who you are, whether people like you, dislike you. I stay out of it. People come to me all the time saying, did you hear this? Did you hear that about this person, about that? You should stay away from I take people for face value. So I give you have all the love, trust, support. You are on a pedestal put high up into the clouds when you meet me. When you meet me, you have it all. You have my trust, you have my loyalty, you have my respect, you have it all. I give that to you freely. You ruin those relationships, right? So you make me not trust you. You make me not believe in you. You make me pull my friendship from you. You make me do these things because of your behavior. I give you everything freely. If you choose to damage that, that's on you. So I hear some people don't like Morbid, and that's fine. I don't know if you heard, there's some people that don't like me either. Doesn't mean I'm a bad person, right? So I'm going to go on Morbid's channel. I'm going to give him the same respect and the same courtesy I give every single other person that I meet. I always give them of me freely, and they have to lose me, right? So we're going to go on there. I've talked to him, he's assured me that this is not some kind of, setup. But even if it is, even if it were, even if everybody in that chat was with pitchforks and daggers coming after Bullhorn Betty, I'm an adult and I know how to just leave. You're right. I know how to just boop, have a great day, right? So we know how to do this because we're adults. So I'm going to go there. I'm giving him the opportunity. I think, to be honest with you, I talked to the guy. I mean, we're all out here trying to do our creative, niche, right? We all have our creative juice. We all try to do things. I think for the most part, people are good people, whether they get sucked into crap or not. I truly believe that there's a lot more good people, even though they act very poorly to be cool or to be noticed or to have, to buy their friendships with these creators or whatever. I don't know. I digress. But everybody tries to do their own, have their own creativity and do it in a way that's entertaining to their audience. And so, to be honest with you, we'll give them a shot. We'll give them a shot. I think I like giving shots to people that, because I will be honest with you. This is what I will be honest with you about. When I found out that when I found out that he removed his channel and Deets on the Street removed her channel, I reached out to both of them and basically said, I hope you didn't reach, because of the hate, stand strong, keep your head up, blah, 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 even though I know that they both have bashed me in the past. I didn't, I never want anybody to be subjected to bullying and hate and leave and, have their channel removed despite how they feel about me. I just wanted to let them know that it does get better, and I hope they stick around. So it's I didn't want it's one of those things, and so I just wanted to make sure that he wasn't leaving because of the hate on YouTube. And he told me, no, I'm just doing some creative stuff. And then I hadn't heard from him in a while, and he reached out to me and said, I'm coming back on YouTube, I'd like to maybe interview you. And so I'm like, well, I prayed for it for a really long time. I actually never responded to him. I responded to him, but I never answered the question. And so like a month went by, and I had technical issues with my phone. And then and then all of a sudden one day I look and there's a text message saying, hey, I'd really like to interview you. And, I know you can't talk about this, but I'd like to talk to you about other stuff. Do you have any particular stuff? I'm like, no, I kind of go with the flow. I always say that to anybody because I like to see the type of questions they ask. Are they antagonistic? I'm always, you guys know me. I'm always analyzing people. I'm always looking to see what makes people tick. I'm always trying to identify personalities, and it goes on organically in my brain. I don't even realize it does it. I just do it. It's weird. I'm weird. I don't know what to say. Okay. His chat is horrible about it. Be careful, please. And you know what? That's another thing. I don't really care what his chat says about me or how they feel about me or, that they hate me and want me to die. I don't care. So I'm happy to help out. He hasn't done anything to me personally. As a matter of fact, he serenaded me. Remember, I had to turn him down. I had to turn him down live here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. I'm sorry. Sorry, Betty. We know. You serenade me. Now, if you just, whatever. I digress. So, what do we say? They ended up being like Bash and liking BHB. Yeah, you never know. Actually, not a bad person. Like the reason why people hate me so much is because they think I was a horrible person. I mean, shit. If you looked at half those thumbnails and listened to the description of these people that have never met me before or never had a conversation with me and never said boo to me, never even understood what makes me tick, talking crap, like I would think I was a horrible person too. But now I've been on here for 2 years and people see the work I do and know I do work well. They're jealous. They try to stop me. They literally try working around the clock. Like there's a few creators that I am literally, it's sick. It's like literally mental illness on me. Like that teacher in New York. She's a sick girl. She's got a lot of emotional problems and probably shouldn't be teaching our children, but nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about, she really does have some major problems in her life. I found that out. Nobody wants to talk about it. I can't even talk about the lady because I truly think she's a mental basket case. And she's teaching our children. She's got emotional issues from deep-seated trauma. It's not my trauma to tell. She should not be teaching kids. She has gone off the deep end. And you guys are sitting there supporting her and don't even realize that we sit here and talk about how we don't want to exploit people that have mental illness. But yet you guys turn a blind eye to mental illness every single day when you support these creators that are clearly have problems. And this teacher does have problems. She does have problems. So I can't, what can I do? Right? Because everybody wants to, if I go after her, what are they going to say? Oh, she's got mental problems. She shouldn't be teaching fucking kids. She needs to go to therapy and get her shit worked out. She's a danger to her children. Just saying. Oh, no, she's not. You're being mean, Betty. Okay. Well, when one of those kids get hurt because she decides to have a nervous breakdown, what are you going to do then? You guys don't want to believe it exists, but it does. Has anybody even asked her? If you guys want to help her, get her into counseling. But no, you guys aren't about helping anybody. You're about drama. It's just sick. These people are fucking sick. Sorry. All right, guys. Well, there's my F-bomb for the day. It sounds like we're on a wrap. We'll see you guys back here around 1:30 or so. But I think that's really it. I'm just kind of, complaining, right? Complaining. What I tell you guys don't do. Don't complain if you don't have a solution. Seriously. What's your email? Oh, it's easy. Bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Bullhornbetty@gmail.com is my email. And we'll go over Brian Koberger and DNA. We're going to go over this. You know what? We need to really start diving into this investigative genetic genealogy testing. I mean, literally the laws of it. We need to go back and start reading their arguments about this, because there's something with this. They're fighting really hard about this investigative genetic genealogy testing. And we know that came before the actual oral swab. And actually, as a matter of fact, I think when they got the results back from that, they're going to try to attach this investigative genetic genealogy testing to the fruit from a poisonous tree. I already know. I'm already seeing, and I know that's kind of where they're going with this. So we need to look at that really clearly and find out whether or not that argument holds water. We need to look at case law. What else do we have? Does anybody else have anything? I'll give you guys a few seconds just to let me know. Do we have anything else? Any pressing matters with? Does anybody have any cases in their community they wanted to bring attention to? It's just it sucks because we got about a 20 to 30 second lag, so I've got to wait here so you guys can respond to my question, because by the time you guys are responding to my question. And you know what's so funny? I gotta tell you this, sweet misery. You're gonna kill me. And this is a true story. And you know what? I'm gonna smack myself for you. Hold on. I'm gonna smack myself for you. Okay, you smack Betty, okay? Because I have to be honest with you, sweet misery. You're gonna kill me. You're gonna kill me. I'm so sorry. I probably shouldn't tell you this because you're gonna kill me. So last night on Turtle Island, I was going through and I was trying, I was going through the list and trying to call, who, because I'm not paying $5. Sorry, Dolly, you're not getting $5 out of Bullhorn Betty. I feel that I should have a free vote every week. Like, I feel like I should have a free vote every week. I'm Bullhorn Betty. Give Bullhorn Betty whatever. So we were up and what was I forgot what I was getting at here. Where was I going with this? I'm so tired. Give me a second. Thank you for explaining. I think it was something that Robin said. Let me look what Robin said. Robin, what did you say? He said something. Oh, you like morbid a lot. I'm not sure about morbid. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Sweet misery. Thank you. So I was over there and I'm like, I'm going to call in, right? Because I rah. We know who's in our team, sweet misery. I said Huntress. I wasn't, and I didn't even know you were on the list. But for that split second, I'm like, I'm going to call somebody. I want to vote somebody off. I'm in the, I don't want to save anybody mode because I've been rah, you save our people. I want to vote somebody off. So I'm trying to decide which person I want to vote off more, Crimes of Fashion or JLR. I'm not sure. And then I see your name and I'm like, that name looks familiar. Maybe I should just vote some random person off. And I'm like, wait, I recognize that name. Wait, that's Sweet Misery. Wait, she's in my chat. I never made the call. I just want to let you know. I never made the call. I didn't make it. I tried. I have to be honest. I tried 20,000 times to call into the damn show. Dolly, Bullhorn Betty needs her own line. PJ, do something about this issue I'm having here with your man, okay? When I need to call into the show because my vote matters, it's all about Betty. People wish they could do this to me, but I'm still here doing this back to you. So now that we know we're do we think we poked enough fun? Did we trigger anybody today? I hope we did. That's my bread and butter, right? Triggering people. I think I'm good at it. They call it being rude and unprofessional. I call it YouTube. I'm a turtle, pink bow love. Aw, well, thank you. You know, it's just funny because we see so many people, we see names, and it's like, you know, just that split second being there. Like, we talk like every single day, and then I see your name up there, and because it's not in your print that I'm used to seeing here, I'm like, what? Huh? Wait, I was going to kick you off. I wouldn't have been successful. I've made my decision. I had made the decision who I'm going to take out next week. We got to go to the strategy. They kept saying strategy. I'm like, what strategy? You guys are kicking your friends off. What strategy? It's so funny. You hear all this strategy. I've been around the block a time or two. This is what my third Turtle Island. That strategy nonsense is for the birds. You wanted to vote your friend off because you wanted to kick them off. Quit trying to be nice and say, oh, it's just strategy. You secretly didn't like him and you said, bitch, you gotta go. Don't lie. Yeah, I think the strategy of the Bullhorn Betty is CNF needs to go. CNF needs to go. I'm not going there. I did abbreviate her name, didn't I? And when I abbreviated it, so many little names just started popping out of those abbreviations. CNF to go. I need to stop. I'm going straight to hell. Robin, save me! Save me from myself, please. All right, it's been real. It's been fun. We are now up on our hour. We had our 2 hours of flower power here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. I know you guys didn't get and learn a lot, but maybe you learned something. If you didn't, I don't know what to tell you. Go make it a great day. Get out of here. It's Monday. Okay, go have your manic Monday somewhere else. Guys, have a great day. We'll see you around noon. What did I say? Noon, 1. Well, we're doing an afternoon show and then an evening show. So we'll be here at 6:30, but there's going to be one in between. If you guys haven't subbed up, consider subbing up. Don't forget to rock it out with your coffee beans out. If you see something, say something. Ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe and kind to one another, especially in the chat box below. God bless.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.